I know I have a lot of ladies on here who are genuinely wanting to learn how to deprogram their masculinization and learn more about the embodiment of feminine energy and what that looks like and how that shows up. And a huge part of that and what comes with that, if you're living with or married to a man, is the topic of working outside of the home. And I know that this triggers so many crazy feminists out there, but it's inevitable that when you're both working outside of the home, a lot of problems are going to arise from that. So that doesn't mean that you can't or shouldn't work outside of the home just because you're married. But just that you know how to deal with the frustrations of work in a way that doesn't bring that home to your man and disrupt the polarity of your relationship. Okay, because here's the thing. He's going out there each and every day doing what he's supposed to be doing in providing and fighting the forces and dealing with all of the problems that arise in his workspace. He's in this mode of doing what he has to do, but also using up a lot of his energy and his testosterone. While you're also out there doing the exact same thing each and every day for 40 plus hours a week. So what usually ends up happening from that is that now both of you are at a disadvantage because neither one of you has the luxury of the other one kind of detoxing and cleansing that energy from within you and out of you from the workday. So whether you're even conscious of it or not, you're actually carrying all of that baggage and all of that heavy weight that you experienced in your work environment back home to you. So, okay, for example, let's say that you work in a restaurant as a host or as a server. And one of your coworkers, when you get to work, she's dumping all of her problems and kind of just venting to you about her boyfriend, and maybe her boyfriend, he was out with his friends all night. He didn't come back home. Now she's worried that he's cheating on her. She's emotionally unwell and anxious about this whole situation. And she's explaining it to you. And then a customer comes in and he sits down in a table or at the bar. And then you find out that he's a married man and he's hitting on the woman that's sitting next to him. He's buying her drinks. He's being very flirtatious with her. Well, guess what? That might not be happening in your relationship, but you're subconsciously carrying all this baggage from other people and their fears and their issues in their relationships at home, in their lives, back home to your man. So their fears and their dark spirits are unconsciously rubbing off on you and causing you to become more and more jaded. Does that make sense? So you are carrying all this heavy weight back home to your man whilst he's also experiencing the same kind of situations, maybe in his own unique way, in his own work environment. And so neither one of you are there at home to help each other detox from all of this heavy weight and this baggage and these sort of dark spirits that have kind of fear-mongered you. So that's why if you are working outside of the home, that you're doing something that genuinely fills your cup up, that you genuinely love to do, and that is a healthy work environment. You know, not this sort of unhealthy work environment where there's a bunch of ladies who don't get along and who are catty to each other and causing a lot of drama, or there's a bunch of men that are cheating on their wives in this one specific environment, you know, if you know what I mean, like going to a club specifically. It has to be something that's a healthy work environment and that can help stabilize your relationship back at home. Also, that you're not working the same amount of hours as him, because it's very hard, very, very hard to appreciate someone that is doing either just as much as you or even less than you are. Because if you're coming back home and you're having to, do the daily, cleaning the dishes or doing the laundry, pulling a second shift basically, then you're not even gonna feel very appreciative of him. Okay, I can assure you that you're not gonna feel appreciative of him because you're doing either just as much equally or you're doing even more than him, and that does not create a very feminine energy from within you. It actually does the exact opposite and creates a lot of resentment for him because you can't appreciate someone who's doing equally as much as you. What ends up happening is that his efforts of providing and protecting go unnoticed and become kind of meaningless. Meaningless to you and then meaningless to him. And he thinks, well, why am I doing this anyways? That's why I stress so much about women. If they do decide to work, then they're doing something that genuinely fills their cup up, that they're genuinely passionate about, that they genuinely feel that they have a calling for. And that even with that they're still not overwhelming their plates, because everything can become tiresome after a while. Okay, I don't care how much you love working. You can't compete with how God set up our hormonal systems and our bodies to be. So if you hate your current job and it's doing you more harm than good for your marriage, then you have to go find something that fulfills you and helps you to release some of your creativity, rather than making you feel like you have no time for all the pleasures and things that you want to do in life.